This mare is on some rehab. So I set a timer on my watch for the amount of time. Right now she's at about 25-30 minutes. And I try to walk 10 minutes before I start with any trot work. She is only on walking and straight line trotting right now. So in the walk work, I'm thinking about a nice forward walk, not up and in, not collected, just trying to get her to have a long neck. This mare has a tendency to want to curl. So I'm not thinking about like a stretch down so much, more about nose out and getting some nice big ground covering walk. She always has had a good walk. And if she offers to stretch out and then down, I'll let her. But if she wants to just root on me or curl, I will not let her. And in the indoor today, I'm going straight as long as possible. And then on the end, just kind of straightening through the end rather than asking for a big bend. Now she could at the walk do more of a bend if needed. Easy, good girl. So here, you know, she turns tighter than this in her stall. So that certainly is not bad. And then to change directions while you're rehabbing a horse, you can easily just go straight across the ring. Okay, so this horse is at the point in her rehab where we're doing straight line trots, and she's doing currently 5 laps each way of the indoor, long sides only. So you want to think about keeping them nice and straight on a good forward round frame to build their top line. And I go deep into the corner. Ooh. So for as long as I can, staying straight. Now, if I'm outside and it's a much bigger ring, you can kind of point your corners and make a bit of a octagon or sectagon and go a little bit longer, but then you have to be careful about the time that you're trotting. So things to think about in rehabbing, even at the walk work, is when you're rehabbing from a soft tissue injury, you don't want to put undue stress on the ligament or tendon as it's healing. So you don't even want to walk over poles, not so much that the flexion of the joints will hurt them so much. Well, they might if you have an avulsion fracture into the joint, but you don't want them to trip or have some sudden movement that might cause undue strain on that tendon while they're being ridden. Also, be careful, you don't want slopes, so don't go walking out up and down hills until your vet clears you for that. Be careful of lateral work, circles, anything that causes the foot to have to do anything other than straight. Now, this horse is already on turnout, so some people are like, well, they're getting turned out already, so what's the difference? They do that on their own. Adding weight adds a lot. Also, as a rider, you want to make sure that you're very balanced. So if you as a rider tend to be heavy on one side or lean or collapse in one way, that's going to cause undue stress on your horse. So you either need to fix that as a rider with cross training and yoga and stuff, or find a rider who can be balanced, or a trainer such as myself that specializes in rehab work. So this is my end of my 5th lap of straight line this direction. And I'm going to change directions, but you can also do a straight line trot across the diagonal. And then I need to give her a lap break. So even when you're trotting, you know, give them breaks between so that all the structures can rest. So at the beginning, I would only do 2 laps trot and then give her a lap break. Now I'm doing 5 laps because she feels quite good to me. And then this is how you can change directions with the straight line while trotting. But it's important to not let your horse cut the turns. Go deep as you can into the corner to extend the amount of strides you can do straight. And then I like her having the short side of the ring here to rest. And I'm going to give her a lap to rest now. All right, so I let her have a lap of walking and just on the buckle, letting her stretch out her neck and relax for a moment. Then I put her back together at the walk prior to trotting. And then this is my first long side this direction. So she's currently on 5 laps each direction trotting. And so when do you start increasing? Well, feel how they are every day. She's been doing this for probably 10 rides now, so she probably could do more pretty quick. See if they're having swelling in the leg. If there's any heat, you should be icing and beamering, or using some modalities, but for sure icing the injury site. So as it seems to be holding up well to the current state of work, then I usually near the end of the week will start adding more laps. And this lap I'll show you. So when you start to be able to go through turns, and she'll be okay with this, I do like 2/3 of the ring. So I'll trot here. I'm going to shave this turn a little bit. So it's a very slight turn, not even a circle. And then I'll do this long side, and then I'll walk the other long side. So you can add that once your vet clears you for a little more. Work very closely with your vet through rehabbing. And so to add another lap, today is Wednesday. She started yesterday for the week. I will probably Thursday or Friday add another 2 long sides each direction and leave it at that for a few days. And then maybe add 1 or 2 of these, 2 long sides, 1 short side, and leave it for, at least 5 days, depending on how they are doing, how they feel, and if there's any swelling or heat. If there's any swelling or heat coming in to the tendon, or they feel off to you at all, you need to back off, back way down, treat it, maybe rest, maybe call your vet. To just fall into your downward transition. So really support and prepare for the transition, so it's a nice balanced transition. Everything is about balance, pushing. You don't want them to trip up or down through a transition. It's like falling up the stairs when you've hurt your knee. It's not so great. So here I'm going to half halt. I'm going to prepare and bring her down in a nice organized downward transition.